Hello and welcome to your authoritative current affairs maritime program, Iron Port. This program is proudly brought to you by Gull PLC, Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Serene Insurance, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. This program is also powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. So this week we are assessing the impact of GRA's invigilation exercise on revenue mobilization, and we had in the studios Joseph Ajekwe-Yanan, who is the area manager as well as the Accra Central Enforcement Unit of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Let's take a listen.
So tell us about this whole invigilation exercise, when it started, what actually necessitated it, and why you decided to embark on it.
This tool is a compliance tool, which has been with us since the introduction of VAT as a tax type. But prior to last quarter of last year, we have used it to determine the basis for audit and also for registration of VAT.
Right.
There are times that taxpayer tells us its returns in terms of turnover is not up to the threshold.
Right.
But then we believe it qualifies. So then we'll station our men or women there for a month, because VST, the accounting period is for 1 month.
Right.
So we station our officers there to monitor their sales for a month to determine whether they qualify or not.
Whether they actually are able to meet that threshold.
Exactly,
Okay.
yes. And then secondly, to where we come in and taxpayers consult their records, and we want to be scientific in our projections. We station men there to determine how much the taxpayer is making for the month, and then based on that, we are able to do some scientific projections. These are just two of many other uses of the invoice invigilation.
Right.
But now, looking at the deepening in our revenue collection, so far as VAT is concerned, management with the board of GRA decided that we should use the invoice invigilation as an enforcement tool.
Right.
So now we've moved from compliance, using invigilation for compliance, to enforcement.
Okay.
So now we station our men there, and we go even beyond the month, just to ensure that for every sale that you make, you issue the VAT invoice.
Okay.
There are circumstances where taxpayers do carding. They put a card between the first page of our invoice.
Okay.
So that whatever is written...
It's like a booklet.
It's a booklet.
Yes,
it's a triplicate kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you have 2 carbonated pages, and one is what you issue out to the taxpayer, the client.
Right.
So then when you put a card between the first sheet and the rest of the sheets, when you write the details of it will not show on the second. So then when they have issued out the actual amount to the the client, then they take their time and write whatever figure they will want to show to us. But with the invoice invigilation, the officers are there. So then this cannot be done.
Absolutely.
So these are the benefits that we are getting from this invoice invigilation. If I should speak to some figures.
Yes.
The last quarter of last year, I mentioned just 1 or 2 cases. We have a taxpayer who, proud to the invoice invigilation, was making actually the September returns. The declaration for output VAT was 33,738.63 in September. When the invoice invigilation was done on this taxpayer, the declaration shot up to 197,457.11.
That's when your officers went there and were present in the at that particular shop.
Exactly.
For a month.
For a month.
It shot up from 33,000
to
100 plus.
Yes.
Wow.
Almost 200.
Wow.
And then we have another taxpayer who happens to be a manufacturer. His sales shot up. He was doing an average of 3 million a month. It shot up from 3 million to 8 million.
8?
Yes, million.
8 million, 5 million difference.
Yes.
Wow.
So you can see the effect, positive, of course,
Absolutely.
of the invoice invigilation.
Absolutely.
Now, what is happening is that we are doing 3 programs at the same time because you realize that invoice invigilation is localized.
Yes.
We can't cover all the taxpayers. We have thousands and thousands of taxpayers.
Yes.
We don't have the strength and the numbers to be in every shop.
Yes.
So what we are doing is to manage the invoice invigilation with test purchase.
Yes.
That is mystery shopping.
Okay.
And then we also introduce the e-VAT. What is happening is that now we are doing close monitoring of their sales.
How frequent or rampant would you say this particular phenomenon is, that people definitely try to cut corners, they try to beat the system, they try to conceal the actual monies that they are supposed to, render to the Ghana Revenue Authority in terms of value-added tax or taxes?
You see, VAT as a tax type, its management is a bit tricky. Why do I say so? You sell goods or you provide service.
Right.
The money is paid to you, but your accounting is done the following month. You keep this money with you,
Yeah.
then you assume it's yours.
Yeah.
So paying becomes a challenge. You know, you have to pay bills, you have to pay workers and all that. So before you know, the money is gone.
Absolutely.
So nobody comes to you, oh, let me wait next month.
Yeah, sure.
Nobody comes, let me wait the next month.
So the fellow keeps circumventing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So where we have these systems working for us, like the EVAT and the rest, once you are not paying, we already have your declaration on our system.
Right.
So then it will trigger a follow-up. But now that we have the manual, it's a bit challenging. So you have people who have sold, they have some even go to the extent of even declaring, but the payment becomes an issue.
Yes.
Yes. So that is what is happening now.
Okay. So from what you have said so far, you want to say that this particular exercise has been a success. It has actually ensured compliance or increased compliance levels as far as the VAT invoicing is concerned.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the those who are of the opinion that the exercise is actually crippling businesses. Have you heard that? Has that come to you?
Of course, it always comes to us.
Yes.
You know, we are also a conduit between, liaisons between taxpayers and management.
Yes.
Yes, so we take feedbacks to them all the time.
Yes.
But maybe let me probably explain issues, then you can deduce the answer.
Okay.
Yes. You see, VAT is a consumption tax. It's an indirect tax.
Yes.
And like all other indirect taxes, the incidence of the tax is on the consumer.
Okay.
It's on you and I who buy. So I cannot speak to the issue of businesses being crippled by VAT.
Yes.
Because what is happening is that you are selling your bottle of water 10 cedis. Then, depending on the scheme you are working with, whether it's flat rate or standard, maybe let's say flat rate, we say pay 3% plus COVID 4%. You add 3%, 4%, that is COVID and the tax on this bottle of water. The bottle of water is 10 cedis. 4% makes it 0.04.
Yes.
So you are selling it at 10.04.
Yes.
When you sell, give us the 0.04. That should not affect your profit margin.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's same with the standard too. It shouldn't affect, but like I said, the money comes to them. Everything. VAT, COVID, and then their own, amount in that bulk amount, the inclusive amount.
Yes.
So it gets to a point when they are taking out the VAT, they see it as their money that is being paid out.
Yes.
So probably that is how I see it. Okay. But of course, I don't manage their businesses with them, so I can't sit here and say it is not true or it is true. But I'm looking at the mechanism of VAT. That is so, if everything is being done the way it should be, then I don't think this problem should even come up for discussion. Yes.
Has there been an instance where you have recommended a particular business owner for prosecution for perhaps, doing the wrong things?
Well, there have been some
Or
engagements.
trying to circumvent the system?
Yes, there have been some engagement between these taxpayers and then management.
Right.
They are asking for some leniency since this is the very first time, and they want to do better going forward. So I know there are some engagement going on. But as I speak to you now, I don't know what management has currently decided on. I know something, but it's not official.
Right.
I've not been written to. I don't have a copy of any correspondence between GRA and then these taxpayers. So I wouldn't say much about that. But I know there have been some engagement. They want us to show some mercy and are promising that going forward they will do the right thing.
No, that was going to be my next question. That we understand that the GRA has invited some of these shop owners to come for questioning with respect to their seeming non-compliance of the VAT invoice and all that. I don't know whether this has yielded some positive results. If they've come for these engagements with you, and whether they've been, some level playing field and they've been some consensus arrived at in terms of their quest to turn a new leaf and perhaps comply. Yes.
With every fresh, introduction, you have teething problems that you need to deal with.
Right.
So they also use some of these problems to drum home their demand or plea to us. There were some challenges with, delays in the machine responding. So there were times that you go to some of the shops and there was a long queue. Because the system was slow and all that. Some claim they pay and it's not reflecting and all that. So management is looking at all that to see what they can do to, have some settlement between both sides.
There are some who are of the opinion that some of your men sometimes get compromised. And so, it's like the fellow goes to the shop, is stationed there, and then maybe the shop owners are, okay, Charlie, this one there, they give you kakrana chese. Have you had some of these reports?
Oh, several of them. And you know that it's a human institution. So these are things that you wouldn't say doesn't happen. But of course, when it comes to our notice and the officer in question is found out, he or she is disciplined. Yes. That is the most important thing. Once we are humans, definitely some of these things will happen. You can't say for sure 100%. Yes. But there should be checks and balances. That should correct some of these,
Okay, so you earlier mentioned the fact that sometimes you go as a person, a member of the public, to buy something, and then these shops refuse to issue the invoices to you. They don't give you anything, and so you have no evidence of purchase at all. What role do I have to play as a member of the public who is patronizing such a shop, who goes, pays some money, and no receipt or no invoice is given to me, and it's like I just have to take my product, whatever I bought from there, and just walk away? What role do I have to play?
At times we receive calls from taxpayers, clients who have experienced such, deals with taxpayers. What we do is to just give us the location, because in our law we have the right to swoop. So when we have such situations, we just swoop. You pick your records, we come and examine them, then we match whatever we have against what we have declared. And then if there are, some deviations, we take you on. So that is how we approach. So because immediately you make demands on them that give me an invoice. Then he knows you want to use the invoice for something. So he issue you the VAT invoice. Then you have no case.
So we have a role to play. Now there's also this bit of whistleblowers. And some kind of incentive from the Ghana Revenue Authority for people who actually are able to blow their whistle. And when you zoom in and you realize that, okay, what the information the fellow gave is actually accurate or correct.
Yes.
And that leads to some collection of revenue. There's some percentage that's reserved for that particular person who blew the lid or the cover. Is that right?
Yeah, that is very right.
Okay.
But your information must carry some weight.
Absolutely.
We have had issues where people have come to us that a particular taxpayer is not issuing the right invoice. He has no receipts to show. And when you want to demand from him evidence that supports his claim, he tells you, give me money to go and buy, I'll come and show it to you.
Okay.
Things like this will not countenance.
Yeah.
So that was the Ghana Revenue Authority telling us how successful the implementation of the invigilation exercise has been. We're going for your comments, after which we take a break.
Bibi from Adenta says, the GRA man is an asset to the state. He has the passion for the job. He needs to be protected because he has control over the job. Such a brave man. Kweku from Accra says, my contribution is the way they are using the security apparatus to harass Ghanaian-owned businesses. They should be friendly and negotiate with the people calmly for them to understand rather than making GRA look scary. Well, Kweku, Mr. Annan says they go with security to avert GRA officials from being attacked. This is from Kwabena from Dakoman. I do a lot of printing around the New Town area. Since September last year, I've realized the printing hub issues VAT receipts. Ghanaians are getting to know that you ought to take your VAT invoice, and as such, businesses in Ghana are alert to doing the right thing by issuing VAT receipts.
Iron Port returns shortly.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Go Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Go Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Go Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Go Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water, or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor,
I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance
for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302-246-319 or 0243-690-492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back from the break. News and activities happening within the ports and maritime industry next.
President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on Friday, May 26, commissioned the expanded Elmina Fishing Harbour with a promise that his government will continue to prioritize infrastructural development for the realization of the transformation agenda. According to the president, the fisheries sector is a very important one that contributes significantly to the gross domestic product of the country. Hence, the need to continually invest in the enhancement of infrastructure in the industry. The plan for the sector, according to President Akufo-Addo, is to help improve the catch of the fisherfolk, prevent post-harvest losses, and reduce fish imports.
This fishing port project represents a significant milestone and adds to the existing two fishing ports of Tema and the Sekendi Takoradi. We're also on course to complete works on the Jamestown fishing port, which will bring the total number of fishing ports in the country to 4. Government remains resolute and will continue to pursue programs and initiatives that support the growth of the fishing industry.
The Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Mavis Hawakumsin, on her part, decried the numerous challenges that militate against government efforts to improve the sector, including illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing, and called for a stop to the trend.
Developments of landing sites and fishing harbors will be of no use if the fisheries resources are depleted as a result of illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing practices. Let us work together to harness the full potential of the Elmina fishing ports and ensure that it becomes a catalyst for sustainable growth.
The Minister for Transport, Akufo-Addo, on his part, entreated the fisherfolk and the people of Elmina to lend their support to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority as they begin operations in the harbour. Akufo-Addo particularly stressed the need for the fisherfolk to help managers of the harbour maintain it at all times. The cardinal objective for the expansion of the fishing harbour is to allow for the safe launching and landing of fishing craft while ensuring that the fisherfolk operate in a very conducive environment where fish are handled and processed in the most hygienic manner. The expanded Elmina Fishing Harbour is equipped with ancillary facilities including space for net mending, shops for the sale of fishing gear and equipment, a state-of-the-art ablution hall, a fish auction hall, an administrative block, and a daycare centre, among others.
Coming up is some international news.
Data from Clarksons, an international maritime consultancy, shows that the cruise industry is pushing forward with the uptake of alternative fuels as part of its decarbonization efforts, with 65% of the current order book being capable of running on alternative fuels. What is more, the focus of the new building interest has shifted to smaller expedition luxury units from the previous gargantuan floating cities to accommodate the shift in demand. The latest insights from Clarksons show that 9% of the existing fleet capacity is able to run on alternative fuels, while approximately 25% of the vessels have integrated energy-saving technology. The most prominent fuel in the existing fleet is LNG, with some projects in the making exploring methanol. Egypt's Suez Canal Authority on Thursday successfully refloated the bulk carrier G High-Ton 23, sailing under the flag of Hong Kong that had run aground on the eastern side of the waterway. The salvage took place over 1 hour and 16 minutes through 3 tugboats, which towed the vessel to the Suez anchorage area in Ismailia. According to the Canal Authority, the incident occurred because of an engine failure during the ship's transit in the waterway. G High-Ton 23 was among the northbound convoy as it had departed from the United Kingdom, having its destination at Saudi Arabia. The vessel's dimensions are 190-meter overall length, 32-meter beam, and a tonnage of 34,000 tons.
We have the phrase of the day next.
Sister ships are essentially vessels that appear indistinguishable in terms of class, design, hull, and superstructure, but which can vary significantly in terms of internal systems.
It's now time for schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate you need to know to clear your goods from the port. So that's all for this week's episode of Eye on Port. Thank you for watching and thanks to the entire crew. Join us same time next week.